Which Big Ten team do you think has the best chance? I did not say think they can win, but the best chance to beat Alabama or Georgia. Do you think any Big Ten team has any chance of beating Bama or Georgia? My answer, no. I think the only teams that can beat Bama and Georgia are each other. They're the only teams that can compete with each other. The way that they're playing, no way. They may not all season. They're about to play Texas. Texas is okay. The Texas loss to Arkansas is looking slightly, but that's the thing. Georgia is so above Arkansas in talent and class and execution. Georgia is so good. This is the best Georgia, I think, has looked in I would say that this Georgia team this year, the way that they've been playing, is better than the Georgia team that made the championship in was it the 2017 season with Sonny Michel and Nick Chubb. That Georgia team was great, don't get me wrong, but the way Georgia's playing this regular season, this team looks like it's better, which is saying something. From what I've seen, no. 2006, Michigan would have beat Florida, and in 2016, Michigan would have won. Yeah, 2006, Michigan, Florida. Yeah, that 06 Michigan team was a really good team. Georgia defense is serious. They play lights out football for real. They do play lights out football for real. Georgia is amazing. I can't wait to watch Georgia Alabama. If the SEC championship is not Georgia Alabama, then I would eat grass or something, because I don't know. I'm talking nonsense right now. I just want to see if little S Stanford here is going to beat Oregon. I seen someone talking playoffs. Here's how we win out. As long as TTUN and Penn State keep winning, we'll be fine. And we need Oregon to win, though. Really, you need Oregon to win. Why is that? I get the argument of needing Oregon to win from an Ohio State perspective, because then it makes the loss look maybe slightly better. Because if Oregon's unbeaten and Ohio State's only loss is to a really, really good Oregon team, then yeah. And if Oregon loses, then that makes the loss look even worse. I get that argument, so for sure. Michigan has an OSU mental block. I hope they do. All right, Stanford starts with the ball. Georgia offense up in the air for me. Yeah, I don't know. All right, drop pass on the first down here. Injuries can make Bama or Georgia beatable. Yeah, I mean, injuries destroys everything. If you have key injuries, then the season is definitely in question. For sure. Iowa needs to beat Penn State and OSU beat unbeaten Iowa in the Big Ten championship. Yeah, that's really what needs. That's probably the most simple scenario when it comes to OSU making the playoff. Beat an undefeated Iowa and beat Penn State. Because I don't think beating an undefeated Penn State is enough, and then you beat a one-loss Iowa team in the Big Ten championship. Assuming it's all going to happen. Hell, Ohio State could lose to Maryland next week. I don't think they will, but it's possible. Anything's possible. I didn't think Ohio State would beat Rutgers by 39. I thought they would win by 29, maybe 19. I thought Rutgers would put in a better performance, but they didn't at all. Rutgers was terrible today. Ohio State played great. Love it. I think Cincy's the third best team. Basically, third best is what everyone else is fighting for. Bama and Georgia are head and shoulders. Yeah, totally, Matthew. Bama and Georgia are so much better than everyone else. It isn't even close at this point. I'd love to see Cincinnati make. If Ohio State doesn't make the playoff, I'll take Cincinnati. It's another team here in the Buckeye State, and I would have a group of 5 team make it. Give them a shot, even though we've seen Notre Dame make the playoff and get hammered by anybody who plays them. I want to see Cincinnati play in the playoff. Have them play Georgia and lose by 60. That'd be fun. It'd be different. At least Clemson's not making the playoff this year. Thank God. No team in the ACC. Georgia has 2 touchdowns scored on defense. They've given up 0. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. As long as Penn State doesn't get blown out by Iowa, then fine. Yeah, as long as Penn State doesn't get blown. I don't think that game's going to be a blowout. Penn State, Iowa is going to be really close. Texas A&M losing to Mississippi State. All right, Texas A&M. Season falling apart. Season's falling apart for A&M. Ohio State is super talented and loaded, but they are a very young team. Yeah, a little inexperienced. So even if they don't make the playoff this year, I think if they can get to the Big Ten championship, even if they lose in the Big Ten championship, I think that's really good for this Buckeye team. Add that experience. I still think the expectation with the season now for me is to, at the very least, win the division in the Big Ten by beating Penn State and and beating Michigan State and beating Michigan. Get to the Big Ten championship. That for me is the expectation. I think getting to the playoff would be sort of an above expectation, kind of seeing how Ohio State lost to Oregon and the way they kind of played against Tulsa. I'd be happy with them getting to the championship. If they lose 2 games, I'm not happy. Stanford still has the ball here. It's the longest overtime first possession ever. How good is Arkansas miss? I agree Alabama and Georgia are elite, but they will play better teams than that. For the rest of this season, I don't think they're playing better teams than that. Arkansas looked really good. I mean, who else is Georgia playing this year? Let me check the schedule. Who else is Georgia playing this year? Alabama and Georgia are def number 1 and 2 if they played. Tom, I have Georgia with the upset. Okay. Oh, Stanford tried another corner end zone throw. The best team Georgia's playing for the rest of the season is Florida, which could be a top 10 matchup if Florida can somehow hold on to their top 10 ranking. I do think Ohio State will hop over Florida, even if Florida wins, unless Florida beats Kentucky by like 60 or 50, then Ohio State, as of this second, I think Ohio State hops over Florida, maybe over Notre Dame too. I don't see Georgia playing a better team than Arkansas. Maybe Florida. Florida's probably better than Arkansas, considering how well they played against Bama, even though it was a loss. The hardest team Bama's playing as of now is maybe A&M, maybe Arkansas. Get in the end zone. Touchdown, Stanford. Okay, Stanford scores on the first overtime possession. A stop, and Stanford upsets Oregon. Arkansas is a legit top 20 team. Georgia and Bama are just really good. Yeah, Arkansas is legit top 20 for sure. Absolutely. I can still rank Georgia too. Don't they have a better resume than Bama right now? I know. That's the thing. Like, if you don't go based off of reputation and you just go based off results, which, by the way, on the Voice of College Football, Mark does a video every week, the top 25 rankings that actually make sense. Absolutely, Georgia should be number 1. They shut out Arkansas. They only gave up 3 points against Clemson. 2 huge wins against Clemson, Arkansas. Absolutely. I think, Deontay, you're right. Based off of purely results this year, Georgia should be the number 1 team in the country. And they might be the number 1 team in the country, better than Alabama. We just have to see them play each other. But I just think by the way Alabama plays the football and obviously by reputation, Alabama's number 1.